guys, happy summer. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. This season we are here at our family home in Utah. If you've been following for a while, you know that we come out every August basically with Dawn's side of the family for the whole month, and it's just wonderful. So that's where I am. I'm sitting on the back patio. It's beautiful, beautiful. We have the mountains in the background there, and it's a beautiful place, and I absolutely love it, and it's just my favorite place. It's my favorite place. So today I thought I would film a Q&A for you because I'm trying to do these, you know, every few months and just share a little bit more personally. So I reached out on Facebook and asked if you guys had some questions, and you did, and I'm trying not to repeat myself too much here. There might be some repeats from really long ago videos that I just don't remember, but I'm trying not to repeat anything I did in the last, at least in the last Q&A, which I will pop a link to if you guys want to check that out. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into it, because you guys know I will have long-winded answers. Okay, so Amber asks, it's been a while since you shared your planner choice and setup with us. What are you using these days? Is it working for your life at this time? I'm still using my bullet journal, and that is what I most recently posted about. I think back in January was my last planner related video. I'm still using a bullet journal. In a new journal because I finished a whole book, but I basically follow the same style, and I've been meaning to film like a recap of my first year in a bullet journal and also show you what I'm doing recently. I just haven't snagged the time to do so. So hopefully I'll have that video for you guys soon-ish. I'm not gonna make any promises on timing because those always go right out the window. But yeah, I'm still using my bullet journal. I didn't plan basically for like 5 months after Donnie was born. I didn't use a planner at all. And that's kind of what I love about bullet journal. It's just so flexible. You can start it or pick it up or let it go or whatever, whenever you want. It's totally, absolutely 100% customizable and flexible, and I'm still really enjoying that. So I will show a look at that soon. I'll do a quick flip through of my first bullet journal, and I'll show you what I'm using in my current bullet journal. I am not planning while I'm here. Again, I'm just kind of going naturally with what I naturally would do. That didn't make any sense. I'm just letting myself be really free with it, not be too rigid with it. So if I don't have a need to plan or, you know, really, I mean, we're just doing family stuff while we're here. I don't have quite the same to-do list as I do at home. So I just don't feel the need to plan here. But I brought it with me just in case I want to like take notes or do what, you know, I do other things other than planning in my bullet journal. So I use it for other things as well. Anyway, I'll do a video on that soon. Thank you, Amber, for your question. Susan asks, what would your top 5 foods be to get protein and balance with a plant-based diet? Now, before I answer this, I want to, big disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist, I am not any sort of medical expert or food expert or any expert at all. I'm just going to share what foods are my go-to for when I want, you know, to make sure that I'm keeping up with energy and stuff. Really don't have an issue with protein intake. I tracked my macros for a few days and I was like off the charts with protein. There's protein in pretty much all plant-based foods in varying degrees. It's just a matter of balance and making sure you're eating legumes, which would be my #1 thing. So legumes for me, beans, lentils, really beans and lentils. I hear Winnie crying. She wants to come outside. Hold on. Come here. You want to sit with me? Come up here. Come here. Here's Winnie. Oh, let me help you. That's not. Here's Winnie. Say hi. All right. Beans and lentils would be kind of my #1. I make sure to have pretty much a full cup of either or both every day. So I will put half a cup of beans in my salad. I'll make something with lentils for dinner. I eat a ton of hummus, and hummus is basically chickpeas and some tahini and some, you know, whatever flavorings people put into it, whether you make it or buy it yourself. Make it yourself or buy it. Sorry, I'm like really distracted. So yeah, those would be, that's like kind of my biggest bulk item, I would say. And then I would move on to like omega essential acids, omega 3s. So that for me is hemp seeds and flax seeds, and I do take a supplement for that, an algae supplement, which I'll link below, that's working out great for me. So that would be number 2. I add hemp seeds into my smoothie. I use ground flax in recipes, that sort of thing. Number 3 for me would be healthy fats. So olives, nut butters, olives have a lot of salt, so if I know some people are like, you know, don't want to use too much salt, so olives are important to me, but they might not be an important part of your diet, but they're an important part of my diet at the moment. Nut butters, almond butter, and peanut butter are my favorite, and avocado. Those are my favorite healthy fats, so that's 3. Leafy greens have been a very important part of balance in my current diet. I make sure to have at least 2 to 3 to 4, probably about 4 cups of spinach a day. And then I also eat mixed greens. I usually have a salad every day, or I just add them into a wrap that I'm making or something. So I make sure to get probably upwards of like 6 cups of leafy greens every day. And then my 5th like food group, I would say, would just be to make sure to eat a lot of veggies. I don't have a problem with my like fruit intake. Of course I love fruit, but just making sure that I am incorporating a variety of vegetables. I tend to be a creature of habit and get into a rut with anything really, and especially with food. So just trying to make sure I'm eating kind of the whole spectrum of rainbow of vegetables, you know, from orange with your beta carotenes. I still don't know how to say that. So like carrots and sweet potatoes, and then you've got your squashes, so you can range from yellow to green with your squashes. Broccoli, cruciferous vegetables, very important. Broccoli, cauliflower, you know, just like kind of like making sure that I get a nice variety of vegetables, and that's how I stay balanced. Those are kind of my big food groups. And then of course I add in, there's a pig in our backyard. Hold on, I have to show you the pig. Hold on. Somebody escaped his pen. That's our neighbor Jeff's pig. Oh, why isn't it focusing on him? That's Oliver. He's not supposed to be here, but there he is. Living his best life. Having so much fun. Oh, Oliver. Oliver came to visit us. Winnie's like Oliver's best friend. Or maybe Oliver is Winnie's best friend. Oh, he's eating our grass. Oh, good. Oh, it's okay, Winnie. That's your friend. That's your friend. Sorry, that was really distracting, and now I'm realizing I was probably out of focus for the whole first part of this video, and I apologize, but I don't have time to refilm it, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, I think I pretty much summed up that question. I'm feeling really good and balanced on the plant-based diet, you guys. And my hair is doing crazy things, so we'll just ignore it. Okay. Amy asks, do you practice meditation or yoga? Just wondering how you manage your spiritual health. I have been trying to get back into a yoga practice, even if it's just 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. I find it makes a huge difference for me, mind, body kind of connection. I don't currently practice meditation. I really tried to get into that app called Headspace last year, and I did it for like a month, and I really enjoyed it, but there's just, I don't know, I could say there's just no time for that, but the truth is I just don't make time for it. I've always struggled with meditation. I find it very difficult. For me, I do better with like a moving meditation, so usually, lately, especially in the warm weather, I've been taking Winnie for walks after I put the kids to sleep, and I do kind of like a walking meditation and with breathing, and that is a way for me to help kind of make meditation more accessible to me, because I just don't do well just like sitting still. Imagine that. Okay. Heidi asks, do you still receive subscription boxes, and would you consider doing unboxing videos again? I still randomly receive the Pop Sugar Must Have box, which I occasionally show on the on my Instagram stories. But I have now officially, I believe I've officially canceled it. I thought I canceled it like 2 years ago. And that was my last subscription box. So no, I do not currently receive any subscription boxes, and I don't have plans to sign up for any in the future, although, I don't know, you never know when something fun might come your way. So not currently. And if I did, I'd probably just do like an unboxing, like in a vlog, or maybe on my Instagram stories instead of doing a dedicated video. I feel like I've been there, done that a lot. Ginny asks, would love to hear more about your faith. I know you have said it is a private area of your life and don't mean to pry, but I have loved each little glimpse you give of us of what makes you you. Well, thank you, Ginny. I'm glad you enjoy those things. Yes, there was a lot of thumbs up on this one, so it's why I'm addressing it, and I have addressed it before. But religion is something that I keep private. Religion and politics is something that I choose not to discuss publicly, like in my public forums, just personal choice. At least, I mean, for now and historically up till now. That could change in the future. It's not something I'm going to start talking about right now, though. I will say that, yeah, you know, I have a strong connection with God, and that to me is a very critically important part of my life, and one that I work on nurturing and learning more about every day, actively, consciously. So I'll just leave that there. Carmel, what a pretty name, asks, how have you found your anxiety since having both Bubbas? You seem to be a lot more relaxed, easygoing since having them. I would say I'm a lot more relaxed since having my children, but even before then, I was already trending in that direction. I have made conscious efforts in the past 5+ years, I would say. Sorry, there's ambient airplane noise. To really work on, I would say, managing my root causes of my anxiety. So really digging deep and kind of dipping under the surface into the shadow self and kind of working through that. I've been working with a therapist for well over 5 years now, and probably 6 or 7 now, and she helps me a lot with, you know, kind of digging deeper. And really, I feel like for me personally with anxiety, a lot of managing it is just getting underneath it and seeing kind of from the bottom up where it's coming from, and then addressing the root. So that has just been helpful for me. Also just maturing, being, you know, 35 now, and just having more experience under my belt and knowing myself better and feeling more grounded helps a lot. And then also, like Carmel said, just having kids has also helped me kind of shift perspective, and I feel like I'm really just come into my own a lot more since I turned 30, and then especially since having children. I just feel more certain and sure of myself, and that is critically important in managing anxiety. I still have anxiety on some low level every day. It's something, it's just part of me, but it has been getting less and less and less, and there are some moments where I feel myself anxiety free, and I celebrate those moments. Like, I really celebrate them. So yeah, I feel like just having kids is just another piece of my life puzzle in figuring out who I am and my place in this world, which definitely has an impact on anxiety. Pam says, I don't know how you do all you do with your young family. Is your daily schedule fairly regimented in terms of what you plan to do each day and the amount of time you had planned to allot to each task? Do you have a daily me time when you can flip through a magazine, do nothing, internet shop, etc.? Also, do you have to schedule that? Always love your content and insights. Thank you, Pam. Right, so with young kids, I have chosen to just kind of embrace each day as it comes. So there are certain things that I do use a planner. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I use a bullet journal, and for the most part, and then I'll like have a few tasks, and I'll do a little kind of a pre-weekly list of things that I'd like to get accomplished that week, and then I'll kind of, the night before, I'll think about what I might be able to accomplish the next day, or what needs to get done in terms of like household stuff, etc. And I'll make a little list, and if I get to it, I get to it, and if I don't, then I just forward it on to the next day or the next day, or scratch it off completely. I feel like I've gotten a lot more flexible with kids, which is funny because I don't know, is it funny? I wonder if that's a common experience. I personally feel that way, but I feel like some people might feel like they get more structured with kids. I do, you know, of course, I personally feel as a parent that kids do best within kind of a flexible structure, so to have kind of a nice skeleton of the day in terms of like a structure, a skeleton structure, and then let them have freedom within that structure. So there is structure to our days in terms of when we eat, like the times that I feed them, breakfast, lunch, dinner, when we have snacks, nap times, bath time, that sort of stuff. But then everything else is kind of day to day. And that's how I approach my day too, because obviously their day is basically my day. So I'm definitely less regimented than I actually was pre-kids. And I just think, I don't know, it just had kind of naturally flowed in that way. But like I said, I do have running to-do lists, and they just help me kind of remember things, because my brain tends to, if you can't tell, I tend to be a little scatterbrained lately. Do I have daily me time? My daily me time's generally when after the kids go to bed. So like I said, I'll take Winnie for a walk, and then I will, you know, usually have to spend some time on like dishes and laundry and maybe some content stuff, but I try to make a little time every day, even if it's just 20-30 minutes, to do something just for me, whether it's, you know, doing a little yoga or working on some memory keeping. So it's not scheduled, it's just kind of whatever I feel like doing in the time that I have left for myself that day. But I do try to do a little bit of me time every day. I think it's really important to do something very, like, separate from your home stuff and your work stuff and your family stuff. Even if, like I said, just 20 minutes, just do something that's just for you. It's not really for anybody else. I think that's really important. And I do prioritize that after my family and home and work duties are completed. There you go. Carrie asks, what are 3 things you thought you would still do on a regular basis pre-kiddos that you don't have time for post-kiddos? And what surprised you most about becoming a mother for the first and then the second time? Okay, that's 2 big questions. So I don't know if I can think of 3 things. What comes to mind for 3 things would be, okay, time for eating. So obviously I'm prioritizing food right now with my kind of nutritional shift and such, but I just didn't realize I wouldn't really always have time to feed myself well. I shovel my food in so fast now. I've always been kind of a fast eater. It's something that I'm conscious of that I would like to change about myself, but literally now I feel like if I don't shove my food in really fast, I won't have time to eat it. So eating would be one of those things that I thought I would have more time to do on a regular basis, but that will come with time as the kids are more, you know, independent and can do more things for themselves. Exercising, I kind of knew I wouldn't have a lot of time to exercise, but I literally just like, there's just, if I want to get anything else done, there's just really no time for exercising. So now I try to do like somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes of Pilates every day. I haven't been doing it lately since we've been here, but it was something I got into a routine with at home. And I do hope to pick that back up in September when we're home. I hear my dog barking. And a third thing, I would say like running errands. And that's more with 2 kids. With my first, I took her everywhere. I took Charlotte everywhere. We ran errands, we went to the store, we went to Target, we went, you know, all the errands we needed to do. With the second, it's a little bit more tricky, especially because he's still just 6 months and he's still napping a lot. It's just hard to coordinate between the naps and the different schedules of the children in that way, getting out for running errands. So it's not critically important. I do use Instacart at home to do grocery delivery when I can't make it to the store. I prefer to go to the store to pick out my own groceries, but that's a great option when I can't get to the store. And I basically only go to Target like once a month or once every 6 weeks now, but that's plenty. I don't need to go to Target any more than that, as it turns out. And then her other question, what surprised you most about becoming a mother for the first time and the second? First time, and I've addressed this before, would be just how natural it felt. I didn't think, not that I didn't think it would be natural to me, I just didn't expect it to be so second nature. It just felt like I was meant to be a mom, and I just like slipped into that role, and it felt really, really natural caring for an infant, and I thought it wouldn't. With the second time, what has surprised me? Honestly, it's kind of the same answer. It's just, you know, of course, when you add another child to the family, it adds another layer of busyness and needs to be addressed, and just a lot of focus and attention. And I didn't doubt myself that I wouldn't be able to handle it or anything, but I wasn't sure how well I would handle it, and I think I'm handling it really well. And I'm not gonna like downplay that. I'm pretty proud of myself, so, you know, like, pat yourself on the back when you can, right? I feel like I'm handling it really, really well, and I'm really quite proud of myself. So those would be my answers to that. Thank you for your questions. Olga asks, how is your fur baby Winnie? Do you share special time with her? Winnie is such a sweet angel. I love her so much. I've always said she's my angel. She is so close to me. She's always with me. She hates it when I'm like, I had to put her inside because the pig was very distracting for her, and I really wanted to finish this video before the baby wakes up. But she's like my little shadow. She follows me around everywhere in the house. Wherever I go with the kids, she is right there with me. I do try to make time for her every day, just me and her time. If it's nice out, we can get out for a walk. That's great. Or if it's not nice out and I can just play with her in the house, you know. I take little Winnie breaks every time I see her, that I don't have like my arms full of kids or whatever. I'm giving her belly rubs. I'm telling her how sweet she is. She has definitely not been neglected. It's a little different, you know, when you have 2 kids versus when you have none, but I do definitely make a special time for her all day, every day, and she is my angel. Brittany, I've been watching you for a long time and remember in vlogs you had certain days you did things like Tuesday's errands day, and was wondering if you could update us on how you prioritize your cleaning, errands, etc. with 2 kids. My second was born July 29th via C-section, and I'm looking for tips on how to keep an organized house. Congratulations, and I hope your recovery is going well. Yeah, I don't do things like that anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I think there's a time and a place for anybody to have, you know, kind of more regimented schedules like that. And this goes back to another question I answered. But really, I take each day at a time. If there's time to get out, you know, like I said, Donnie's not sleeping on a regular schedule in terms of really anything except his bedtime is the only like regular time he goes down for anything at the moment. It's hard to plan out like that. So it's really just when we can go, we go. And every once in a blue moon I have a sitter for a couple hours and I can, you know, go to an appointment or run to something by myself, but that doesn't happen very often at all, to be honest. So no, I don't really do that quite anymore, but here is how I prioritize my cleaning and such with the kids. I just pick up constantly. I can't help it. It's my personality. Like, if I see a mess, I'm gonna pick it up. Like, I know I should probably wait till the end of the day to pick up the kids' stuff, but I am constantly picking up, and I'm trying to encourage my oldest, 2.5, to pick up after herself. And she, you know, she's 2, so she doesn't always comply. But if I make it a point to be regularly practicing that with her, I find that she does it more naturally. So I probably just clean my kitchen about 3 to 4 times a day. And I don't mean like deep clean, like I mean surface clean, like get all the dishes put away, cleaned and put away or in the dishwasher or whatever, wipe down the counters, move piles, and then I'm picking up toys and kind of sorting things a few times a day as well, and then a big sort and big kitchen cleanup at the end of the day. That's kind of the main area I focus on, because we're mainly on the first level of our house. So that's where I focus my energy, and I just keep up with it on a daily basis. I don't follow a schedule with it. I see it, I do it, and I just get it done. Another big thing for me is cleaning as I go when cooking or preparing food. That just saves a lot of time and a lot of like buildup of stuff, and it makes it seem more manageable, I think, than having like a huge sink full of dishes and really dirty counters when you're done making any meal at all. And I prepare, 3 meals a day plus snacks, and it's just like a lot of food prep going on these days with kids and all. So I think just keeping on top of picking up and tidying constantly is what I do to stay organized. And then I do have a weekly house cleaner who comes to visit, and if you can afford this, like if it's something you can work into your budget, I highly recommend it. It makes a huge difference. So we have our housekeeper comes once a week. She comes for maybe about 4 hours. She does the whole house, and she's great. She's been with us since we've lived in the house, so it's been, I don't know, 12 years now, and she's like part of the family now. She actually also is a housekeeper for my in-laws and my sister-in-law, and like we all, it's a family affair, but that makes a huge difference. I also do keep up, like I said, on a daily basis. I vacuum probably once a day. I keep the bathrooms tidy. That's another area that I find very important. And I make sure to make our bed. And I'm teaching Charlotte how to make her bed. There you go. I hope that answered your question, and congratulations again. Amanda. Jen, I know you've mentioned your struggles with anxiety over the years, and I struggle too. Are there any nutritional supplements, vitamins, herbs, teas you consume to help with your anxiety? I don't currently take anything for anxiety, and I've never taken like a prescribed medication for it, and I can't think of any supplements I've really taken for anxiety specifically. I'm sure there are things I have tried like in the past that are supposed to help you calm yourself, but I've never stuck with anything like long term or really super intentionally. For me, it's just like I said previously, it's more about mindfulness and kind of digging deep, and that it's difficult work. I can't tell you how important therapy has been for me and continues to be for me. And if anxiety is something that you really struggle with, I suggest looking into it, and it might take you a few tries, to find a therapist that you connect with. But it is worth it when you do, especially when you Winnie's barking, especially when you are trying to kind of make big improvements with anxiety. It's helpful to have somebody to guide you to dig deeper. So that's what I would suggest for that. That being said, I'm sure there are like nutritional supplements and things you can take that you can help with that. I am not well versed in that, and I don't have a lot of personal experience with that, so I don't feel comfortable commenting on that personally, but I'm sure somebody on YouTube has talked about it, because what hasn't been discussed on YouTube? Allie, if you could go back to your first YouTube video, Jen, what advice would you give her? On a side note, I think you were the first YouTube channel I subscribed to, and I have really enjoyed the journey. Thanks for keeping it real. Thanks for keeping it real with me, Allie. Okay, if I could go back to first YouTube video, Jen, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I was just talking about my first YouTube video. I think it was a video I made about to-do lists. If I can dig that up, I'll link it in here. I was so excited. I had just come from tennis or something at the time I was taking tennis lessons, and I was so excited to make a video. I just went ahead and made one about to-do lists. If I could go back to talk to her, and has it been 9 years? I feel like it's been 8 or 9 years. I can't remember exactly. I would tell her to keep her head up and just stay true and just share what feels natural and feels comfortable. I definitely had ups and downs with my YouTube journey over the years, especially in the first, the third and fourth year, I would say, were really difficult years for me, that I struggled with feeling like I had to make content to keep up with the demands of the audience and you guys, I guess, and I feel like I overshared more, and I felt like I was oversharing at the time, and because it felt like I felt like I had to do that to please other people. So what I would say to first YouTube video Jen is stay true to you, share what you want to share genuinely. Don't worry about what you think other people want to see. Just share what you want to share and keep your head up. Take care of yourself. In what ways feel right to you, regardless of what other people think. That's what I would tell her, and that's what I would tell anybody on YouTube. Victoria, this season, do you plan on sharing more fall and holiday content such as decor, party prep, wrapping, baking, etc.? Victoria, I always hope to share this content. I just, you know, this is a very busy season of my life, and it's just whether or not it happens. I honestly haven't been decorating or party prepping or doing a lot of stuff like that since having kids. I've just definitely pared down a lot on that. I'll definitely do a holiday decor tour. I did one last year. If I can dig it up, I'll pop it in here for you. I definitely plan on doing that again this year. I was really pregnant last year, so I did very minimal decoration for me. But also my kind of decorating style has changed a little bit. I just don't feel like decorating quite as much as I used to. I think as Donnie gets a little bit older and both kids are a little bit more independent, I will have the ability to get more into those things, and I definitely want to, you know, encourage an appreciation of seasons and holidays with my children. So definitely down the line, maybe not this year, but I will share those things as I can and as it feels right to do so. So it's something I do hope to do, and I do hope to do some more baking videos. I've been kind of testing around with different recipes and kind of plant-based baking recipes, so I might, we'll see. It's on my radar. Shannon, a while back you suggested Dawn could do a video to explain the whole DVC program and its value. I'd love to see that video. It is still on my mind. We're still very new DVC owners, I'm not sure. So give us a little more time for that. I think, you know, I don't like sharing about like kind of advice videos like that unless I feel like I have experience under my belt and we're just still so new. So give us a little time. Okay, and that is all I have time for today, especially because my camera just cut out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I hope I answered some questions that you were hoping to see from me. I will be doing another one of these in the fall, so check back in the fall. I always reach out on Facebook because it's just easier for me to navigate those comments, I find, than Instagram. Especially Instagram, it's just like the little comment lines are so small. So yeah, I will be back with another Q&A in a few months, and I hope you enjoyed this. I love sitting down and sharing more with you when I can. And I hope to be back with a Donnie update soon, a 6-month update. He's over 6 months now, but we'll see when that video happens, hopefully soon. It's in my plans. Anyway, hope you guys are all well. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.